And one of the guys that I mentioned that the Blue Jays are in the running for, that we'll talk about next, is Justin Turner. Because this was on Tuesday. On Tuesday, Twitter was kind of set ablaze because we learned the 4 teams that were in the running for Justin Turner, and 2 of them we knew. The Dodgers, the Blue Jays, they were kind of at the top. The one that's most interesting to me, and this was what kind of sent Twitter ablaze, Jake, is the Brewers are one of the final teams to get Justin Turner. Like, to me, I was looking at that and I was going, because I thought I had just read something the other day that their ownership and their like GM and everything might be looking to move on from Christian Yelich. If I understood, like, why would you look to move on from Yelich if you're going to try to add Justin Turner? Like, those 2 moves don't make sense to me.
I think this is the classic, just like the Red Sox have done this offseason. They are leading the league in interest. They aren't actually going to sign him, but they want to make it look like they're actually interested in him. I mean, Justin Turner
is leading the league in interest. I love it.
The only way he would go to the Brewers and if they offer him a crap ton of money to go. Yeah, exactly. There's no way he's going to leave the Dodgers that he's like, or anything like that he's going to go to a team that's not going to win anything. Like, I mean, he could go play in the worst division in baseball with the NL Central, but I mean, the move doesn't it doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. For Justin Turner and for the team, it makes 0 sense unless, again, they're just going to offer him a shit ton of cash. And then he'll be like, you know what? I got my ring. Now I'm going to go relax in Milwaukee and have 0 pressure on me.
Yeah. To me, though, it's like basically it's the not the Brewers. It's the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. Like, I know that the article that I was looking at said 4 teams. I'm trying to find the other team because the article I had did not say it, but like really it's the Blue Jays and the Dodgers that are front runners, right? It's just him deciding, do I stay in LA where I've played the last several years and try to go back and win another ship with them, or do I try to go to this hot new young team in the AL and try to win over there? Nationals, that's the other one. Thank you, RHJ.
Again, I think he'll probably end up going back to the Dodgers because I think he goes back to the Dodgers and he starts again. And the Blue Jays would be interesting because they would probably rotate DHs, and then they'd have so many options at that point. The Dodgers would have the Blue Jays would have so many different lineup combinations that they can use. I think he's probably just using the Blue Jays' interest to draw money up from the Dodgers. Just a little, not that the Dodgers have problem paying money. Clearly. That I just think he's going to probably sign a 1-year deal back with the Dodgers, and it'll be just like it usually was.
Because, like, it's funny. Even JD says, JD Blue Jays fan says, I don't think the Jays will go after him now. Yeah. First reply that I see on John Heyman's tweet about it, where the first comment is from Blue Jays fan account. It says, Jays, please don't sign him. To where it's like, I don't even know if the Jays want him now. The Nationals are interesting, but, like, if reports are that he wants to go to a contender, I don't know if the National, like, if that's the case, it's only the Jays and the Dodgers, because Washington might make the playoffs, but they're just the Washington Cubbies at this point, right?
I mean,
they're just the Washington 2.0 Cubs, getting Lester, getting our former third base coach. That was what Rizzo
and Schwarber.
I was trying to decide their manager, what he was with us, because I think he was our third base coach or our hitting coach or something like that. And then they also got Schwarber, the Schwar Daddy. So they're just the Cubs of the East now. You really think that the Nationals are going to be contenders?
Discord.
Yeah, I can hear you. Now I can't. Go ahead, Jake. I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me? All right. I wouldn't totally write off the Nationals. They've kind of like acted like they're going to give it one more run, which obviously that usually doesn't work, but I mean, he'd get probably the same amount of playing time on the Nationals as you would with the Dodgers. It probably just comes down to money at that point. I think, like I said, I think he just goes back to the Dodgers at the end of this, but the Blue Jays, like JD said, that doesn't really make much sense. But again, if he's on a cheap 1-year deal, it's probably one of those things where the Blue Jays were just throwing interest out there. And if they can bring him cheap, then why not? And the Nationals is probably just about the same thing. I mean, the Nationals have made a crap ton of moves, bringing in Bell, bringing in Lester, bringing in Schwarber. They seem like they want to give this core with Strasburg, Scherzer, Soto, Trey Turner, Robles one more go with it, and then after this year, it'll probably be the end of it. So I mean, I wouldn't write off the Nationals. I think he just goes back to the Dodgers, but the Nationals are going to be, I don't know if I want to say a good team, but an interesting team this season.
Yeah, and like I agree with you at the end. Dodgers is probably where it goes, but yet again, could surprise. Could be like, hey, you know what? I ain't getting the contract I want from you. I'm gonna go to the Jays. But yet again, it's like JD said. Do they even want him now after the moves that they made?